Good evening and thank you for joining us. Stefan is away tonight. We begin with a story of a young family in Lanark County that's sharing their story tonight. After losing their home in a fire earlier this month, they are now dealing with another devastating blow after thieves stole what little the family was able to salvage. CTV's Caitlin Wilson starts us off.
You can see right here, this is the garage door.
When fire tore through their house in Lanark County on July 3rd, Kimberly and Tyler Burns thought they lost everything.
This was supposed to be our home for a while and live here for a bit. Now here we are. We starting all over again.
Kimberly says that morning started like any other.
I woke up at 7 a.m. with the two boys, went to go to the vet, and I got the call at 8:40 and said the house was on fire.
It's an absolute mess.
Tyler says by the time he arrived, the garage was engulfed in flames, with the fire quickly spreading across the roof.
I was coming from Smith Falls, which is behind us, and you could just see the smoke. A lot of the big problem is their propane tank here. They blew off, it just fed the fire.
And while their house is a total loss, firefighters managed to save some of their belongings, including family silver and Tyler's collection of antique tractors.
Boys' room was hardly touched because I had the door closed. So we were able to, salvage those off of the shelves up top.
The couple stored the items in a shed on their property for safekeeping, or so they thought.
We had everything stuck in this crib. And,
Just days later, they say someone broke into the shed and stole everything.
Pretty angry, honestly. Like, why would anyone do that?
For now, the family is staying with relatives, surrounded by a community that's raised nearly $7,000 to help cover what insurance won't.
Very, very thankful for the community, the friends, the family, the coworkers that have all come together and helped us, for sure.
They're hoping the few pieces that survived the fire can still find their way home as they begin the long journey of rebuilding.
There's just nothing left.
Caitlin Wilson, CTV News.
An Ottawa rideshare driver is facing a charge of sexual assault after an incident over the weekend, and police say there could be other victims in the city. CTV's Dylan Dyson has the details.
They show up to your location with just a couple taps on your phone, but Ottawa police say one rideshare driver is now facing an assault charge.
On July 25th, we were made aware of a situation, and the Ottawa Police Sexual Assault Unit conducted an investigation. And after that investigation, they charged and arrested a 36-year-old male for one count of sexual assault.
The alleged incident happened Saturday while the suspect was working as a rideshare driver. 36-year-old Orleans resident Mohamed LaRousse now facing one count of sexual assault. Police say he drove for multiple ride-sharing apps and are concerned this is not an isolated incident.
The male is a driver of both Uber and Lyft. We're just concerned that there may be other victims that haven't reported to police.
In a statement to CTV News, a spokesperson for Uber says the reported incident did not happen on the Uber platform, adding, "As soon as we were made aware of this incident, we removed the driver's access to the platform and began assisting law enforcement's investigation." Ride-sharing apps such as Uber and Lyft come with a host of tracking features. Rideshare user Anik Grenier says she prefers that to a traditional taxi.
I have no problem with it because I can keep track of their route and everything else. I actually feel more secure with them in an Uber or a Lyft versus a taxi.
Ottawa police are encouraging rideshare users to access those features to enhance their safety.
If you're feeling at any point unsafe during your ride, you can use a functionality of the app to call 911, and that gives you a precise location you can give to a dispatcher.
Dylan Dyson, CTV News.
A wet day here in the nation's capital looked like it was going to be quite a bit worse. There was a special weather advisory in place from Environment Canada calling for up to 100 millimeters of rain, but we did not get that. As we take our first check on the weather forecast to Jackie.
All right, take a look at our overnight lows now. Getting down to about 17 degrees. There is the risk of thunderstorm as well moving through and showers. We could see an additional 10 millimeters of rain in the overnight hours. As far as daytime highs, it will be 23, but yeah, we are likely going to see an additional 15 to 25 millimeters of rain moving through. Keeping a very close eye on this. For now, a special weather statement has been lifted here for the Ottawa region, but it doesn't mean we are escaping the rain. 7 a.m. for tomorrow could start off with just cloudy skies, but it will be in the later part of that afternoon, just after lunch, that we could see this weather system rolling in, and between 1 and 5 p.m. is when we could see the heaviest of the rainfall moving through. We'll have these details in for you and more in just a bit.
The Ottawa Police Service is set to equip dozens of additional officers with body-worn cameras by the end of the year. 30 members of the Crisis Intervention Team and designated sergeants on the front line began wearing the cameras last November. The program will expand to another 200 officers by December, with a goal of equipping all frontline officers with the technology by the end of 2027. That will require the service to purchase an additional 850 cameras. The cost of the program is $27 million. And police in Gatineau are investigating a daytime shooting. It happened at around 10:40 this morning in the Hull sector around Rue Dallaire des Ormeaux. When officers arrived on scene, they found someone suffering from injuries. The victim was taken to hospital and a suspect was arrested. Police say there is no threat to public safety. Here in Ottawa, police are reporting an uptick in the number of stunt driving charges so far this year. 389 people have been charged with stunt driving. That is an increase of 12% compared to the same period last year. A stunt driving charge comes with a 30-day license suspension, and the vehicle is also impounded for 2 weeks. Well, from the color of your ticket to how long you have to pay the fine, the city is making some major changes to its parking ticket system. It comes ahead of an expected influx of vehicles in the downtown core this fall, with federal public servants back at the office 4 days a week. Here's CTV's Katie Griffin.
Julia McDonald is paying for parking so she doesn't get a ticket.
I've gotten a few.
Now, if you get one, it will be yellow, not white.
I could see it being more visible. I mean, a parking ticket's a parking ticket no matter what color it is.
I don't care. Not a big deal one way or the other.
That change, one of many, as the city prepares for more vehicles downtown, with federal workers required to spend more time in the office. As of September 1st, the fine for parking in a no parking area in the downtown core will increase from $90 to $135. A no stopping violation will jump from $130 to $195.
When I come down and I can't find parking and I find a spot that I think I can park, and I get a ticket for it, that's gonna suck. Like, $200 is how much I'm charging to do a plumbing job here.
There you go.
So if I get a ticket for $200, I just came down here for no reason. You know what I mean?
There's major parking issues already downtown, and we add in, people going back to work and putting that stress on them, trying to figure stuff out. I think they need to have a better transition plan rather than targeting that right away.
You also now have 15 days to pay the early payment fine, up from a week.
Excellent idea, because I feel that often it's a money grab, and it's very frustrating when you don't pay it right away and all of a sudden it jumps to this exorbitant amount.
Katie Griffin, CTV News.
Well, turning now to the latest on the wildfire situation in northern Ontario. More than 150 fires are burning, including the largest in the province's history. That massive fire has been dubbed Thunder Bay 36. It covers an area of more than 3,000 square kilometers. Recent rainfall has helped to slow the fire, but officials say it remains out of control. At least 22 other fires are also considered out of control. Additional crews from Alberta have arrived to help with the firefighting effort. And a new study finds a Canadian family of 4 will pay more than $21,000 for public health care this year. The study, conducted by the Fraser Institute, finds health costs have increased 2.3 times faster than the cost of food, 1.7 times as fast as the average income since 1997, and 1.5 times faster than the cost of housing. The study notes many Canadians are not aware of the cost of health care because the system is funded by general government revenue rather than a specific tax. Well, despite the cost of many groceries staying steady or even dropping this month, the price of protein is on the rise. New data released by the Agri-Food Analytics Lab at Dalhousie University found prices in the meat and fish category increased by 6.5%, adding nearly $6 to the average grocery bill. The biggest jump was in the price of bacon, which increased nearly 29%, followed by Atlantic salmon at 26%. However, the price of chicken breast was down nearly 27%.
My parents tried this place in Gatineau, and they said it was some of the best donuts they ever had, so we've been waiting for this place to open since.
Coming up, we'll bring you to Ottawa's newest donut shop, a popular Quebec chain now open here, and it's already attracting a ton of customers. Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Skycam. It's 22 degrees out there right now, and officially it is the wettest July in Ottawa's history. About 250 millimetres of rain has fallen so far this month, surpassing the previous recorded high that was at the Ottawa airport, set in 2017. A popular Quebec donut chain is now open in Ottawa. Homies, it's called Homers in Quebec, serves up fresh homemade donuts with tons of flavors and lots of toppings. CTV's Peter Sperling checked out the new shop.
Oh my goodness.
So many donuts, so many choices.
I think the options are amazing. There's so much to choose from. I want to buy one of every one.
Ashley Freeman and her children are taking home a dozen from Ottawa's newest donut shop, Homies.
We thought we'd come check it out.
The caramel and the Oreo.
Now open at Herongate Square, worth the wait for customers like Braden.
We've been looking on their Instagram every day.
The company has multiple locations in Quebec under the name Homers, including one that opened in Gatineau last year.
My parents tried this place in Gatineau, and they said it was some of the best donuts they ever had, so we've been waiting for this place to open since.
Everything is handmade and handcrafted, and we put a lot of love and passion into it.
According to Homies, about 5,000 or more donuts are made each day.
Overall, we have over 30 flavors.
There's the signature donut,
called Homer's Donut because of our name, and it's very popular.
Cookie Monster.
Everything from a simple sugar cinnamon to a fancy tiramisu.
A pepperoni with hot honey sauce.
There's even a pizza donut.
Well, I can't do a story about donuts without trying a donut. Ian, what do we have here?
We have the cannoli donut, which is one of my favorites, and we have our signature Homer's donut.
Let's try.
Definitely.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, they're delicious. Very fluffy and just all around really good.
It was hard to choose.
Even late morning, drawing a bit of a crowd.
I just thought I'll come and give it a big try.
You talked me into it.
Yeah.
It was the first time. We drove 30 minutes to get here.
Having a new donut shop is fantastic.
As for Freeman and her family, it's a treat they'll try at home. Peter Sperling, CTV News.
Bit of a nice day for some comfort food as well, with the rain falling in parts of the city. Another look at the weather forecast. Jackie.
Let's get a snapshot of what we can anticipate for tomorrow. A lot of the weather system is focused in the eastern part of the region. So around the Cornwall area, the winds are going to carry this over towards the Ottawa area. And this will likely be not at 7 a.m. where we could still see a little bit of cloud cover. It'll be closer to just past the noon hour. So this is the weather system that we are paying close attention to that could bring heavy rainfall between 15 and 25 millimeters of rain. It should be continuing on until just after 5 p.m. We might see a little bit of a break, but then we could see spouts of light rain moving through well into the overnight for our Thursday. Now, taking a look at what we could expect temperature-wise, about 18, perhaps 19 degrees. There's some forecasting that we could make it to 20 degrees, but again, it's going to be much cooler than what we have seen for the remainder of the week and what we will continue to see. So tonight's lows across eastern Ontario, 17, 18 degrees, so fairly cool. Those humidex levels still fairly high. It'll feel closer to about 28, 29. Regardless of those temperatures, really going to be forecasted to 18, 19 degrees. Now, after Thursday, let's take a closer look. We might see bouts of rain concentrated around the Cornwall area in the early part of our Thursday, but for the most part, we are looking at mainly clear skies. There might be slight chances that we could see isolated showers rolling through, but it is going to start off the weekend very nicely because, yeah, we are going to see some sunshine moving in for our Friday. 28, the anticipated daytime high, cloud cover for our Saturday. And as we see, so Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, we could see the return of some rain moving in.
As of today, an expanded online passport renewal service is available to all eligible Canadians. Applicants must have an address in Canada and be older than 16 when they got their last passport. They must also have received it within the last 15 years. Anyone applying will still need to get a passport photo taken or submit a digital copy. The most recent version of the online renewal service had a daily cap of 2,000 applications. The federal government says people should receive their new passports within 20 days and be able to track its progress in real time.
We love our waterfront. If you expand the airport, it will wreck it.
The battle between Toronto and this province over Billy Bishop Airport continues after the federal government rejects the proposed expansion. We'll have those details straight ahead. OC Transpo riders are getting a chance to provide feedback and concerns about the city's transit system. OC Transpo hosting 5 customer information sessions over the next 4 weeks. General Manager Rick Leary and staff will be available to answer questions and listen to people's concerns. It comes as the city prepares for an influx of public servants and students on buses and on the O train this fall. There is a plan to accommodate higher ridership, including increasing LRT frequency and adding new express bus trips. The first info session was held tonight at Jean Pigot Place at City Hall. The next is on August 11th at the Nepean Sportsplex. There will be a virtual session on Zoom on August 13th. There will also be one at the Bob McQuarrie Recreation Complex in Orleans on August 19th. The final one will be on August 25th in Canada. Well, just days after the federal government rejected plans to expand Billy Bishop Airport, Toronto's mayor is calling on the province to repeal the bill that gave it the city's share of Billy Bishop Airport. But it appears the province is unwilling to return control. CTV's Queen's Park Bureau Chief Siobhan Morris reports.
After the federal government shut down a pitch to grow Toronto's Island Airport to accommodate jets,
no, we have no intention to repeal.
Ontario's transportation minister is shutting down an ask from Toronto's mayor to pull back the bill that puts Ontario in the decision mix on Billy Bishop and gives the Ford government control of some waterfront properties.
If the answer is a no, why do you want a local park and local beaches? Like it's always belonged to the City of Toronto.
Ottawa's rejection of a bigger Billy Bishop came after more than 87,000 responses in public consultation.
We love our waterfront. If you expand the airport, it will wreck it. Air quality, and noise and congestion, all of that will just make life not very comfortable.
Minister Sarkaria sees the feedback a different way.
We've seen the federal government here listen to a small French group in Toronto.
He says the federally controlled Port Authority will still develop a formal proposal.
The province will continue to push forward on a modernization of this airport because it's the right thing to do and it makes sense. And from an economic perspective.
CTV political analyst Scott Reid sees Ottawa's timing as no accident, with Mark Carney's Liberals trying to hang on to Beach's East York.
They took it off the table on a Friday night in the middle of the summer, 2 days before they called the by-election. So I think they're laying their cards on the table about what drove this decision and where their thinking is coming from.
That by-election is set for August 31st.
Siobhan Morris, CTV News.
The walk is a tribute to my freedom-seeking ancestors that came into Canada via the Underground Railroad.
Coming up, why an Ontario man is walking from Ottawa to Windsor and the powerful message he's sharing along the way.
Ottawa is always on the move.
We're a big city
with a laid-back vibe.
Where foodies love their sweets.
And markets bursting with flavor.
Wrapped up in waterways.
And hot summer days.
This is a city where culture is on display.
And the future
meets the past.
Where people come together.
Always proud.
Often loud. Whee!
And positively the best place to live.
We move with you, Ottawa!
A Windsor man is walking his way home all the way from Ottawa. He's doing so in recognition of Emancipation Day, when slaves across the British Empire were given their freedom. CTV's Jerry Dewan has more on the message he wants to share with current and future generations.
It's a 1 month, 750-kilometer trek from Ottawa to Windsor.
We started a 750-kilometer walk on July 1st, Canada Day, that will conclude on August 1st, Emancipation Day. The walk is a tribute to my freedom-seeking ancestors that came into Canada via the Underground Railroad.
The Slavery Abolition Act came into law August 1st, 1834, freeing 800,000 enslaved people throughout the British colonies. Travis says his 750 for Peace Walk isn't only about the past, it's about building a better future for young people.
To help raise awareness and help youth outreach initiatives do some fundraising. So we're supporting back home the Windsor Youth Center and the Sandwich Teen Action Group.
He says he's been encouraged by the number of people who celebrate his mission to honor the significance of the Abolition Act and who want to support him, like Jeff in Zora Township, who biked alongside for over an hour just to keep him company.
Sometimes we find ourselves in these silos where we're really beginning to think or believe that, you know, our back's against the wall, people are divided, you know, we're eating like this diet of division and division and division. But small towns, bigger towns, there are wonderful, kind, supportive people out there.
Travis is being supported throughout his journey by his wife, Nina Soto.
Get these down so you don't burn your ears.
Travis says his goal is to do a walk like this one every year for 10 years.
On every province, and we're going to service different youth organizations every year.
Travis has been averaging about 25 kilometers a day and says for the most part he's feeling good, but admits his back has been tightening up. He looks forward to returning home on Saturday. Jerry Dewan, CTV News.
Black lives matter, Black history matters, and Black history is Canadian history, and we need to honor that.
Coming up, history in the making. A notable achievement gets marked with a commemoration of a park.
Get the latest live local breaking news. Sign up now for our morning and evening CTV News Ottawa newsletter. The best local content from CTV News, Your Morning Ottawa, and News Talk 580 CFRA. Get it all in one place. Sign up now at ctvnewsottawa.ca. The CTV News Ottawa newsletter is brought to you in part by CAA Business.
National Capital Region is jam-packed with incredible experiences you don't want to miss. Hey, it's Tanea Taylor, your iHeartRadio Weekender, powered by Barhaven Ford. Get the inside scoop on all the biggest and best events every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday on CTV, Move 100, Pure Country 94, TSN 1200, and News Talk 580 CFRA. iHeartRadio Weekenders is powered by Barhaven Ford. Take your weekend path. We've got the Bronco Sport for it.
There's a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. It is 22 degrees. Time now for a final look at the weather forecast. Back to Jackie.
Taking a look at our wake-up weather tomorrow, 18-19 degrees is what we are anticipating. Yes, there is a chance of showers rolling in, but again, with the winds moving, this could change. We are likely going to see the heaviest part of the rain moving through in the afternoon, so between 1 and 5 p.m. That's at 15 to 25 millimeters of rain moving through. We are seeing a daytime high of 19 degrees, one of the coolest days that we can expect for the week. Temperatures will start to bump up 27, 28 degrees. Lots of sunshine in store, though, for our Friday as we kick off the long weekend.
Well, finally for us tonight, a notable achievement and a name still seen in many places across Ottawa. This park, located at 612 Besserer, will now be known as Herbert and Estelle Brown Park. The commemorative naming goes to a couple that called Ottawa home for decades. Originally from Jamaica, they moved in the 60s and worked hard to build what we now know as Brown's Dry Cleaners. Their story is one that showcases what's possible and continues to make their family and this city proud.
I really feel overwhelmed by all of this. I just think of my grandparents and my parents and how hard they struggled, not even thinking that any day they would have any recognition except for their family, but for the city. for the city to recognize them is just so amazing.
You know, there is no other park in the City of Ottawa which bears the name of a Black family. They were such pioneers in the Ottawa area. They were entrepreneurs. I don't think there's a ward in the city that didn't have a Brown's Cleaners at one point.
And much beloved.
The mayor and several other dignitaries, including from embassies, were in attendance, and the wet weather certainly was not enough to keep people from coming out or smiling about this Simply Ottawa moment. A beautiful park and well named for sure, well deserved. That is CTV News for this Tuesday, July 28th. Thank you so much for sharing some of your time with us tonight. Have a good one.